Well, I'm going to just briefly go through things because everything you need to know about funding, as you can see, is on the dashboard. And you can really go there and get all the basic information. But I did want to show you, we have 71,000 schools across the United States. This is huge. And you can see how many students are actively engaged online, and over 10,000 schools with program advisors. And, oh shucks. Anyway, I'm going really fast. There are 1,467 schools in Indiana, and we have several of these schools have advisors, and you've heard about some of them. And who's eligible for funding? And this is really important because you have to be enrolled in the Field to Play 60 2011-12 school year. You have to have a program advisor. You have to complete the school wellness investigation. You saw that on the dashboard. You do have to be a part of the National School Lunch. This is extremely important. You have to have the backing and support of your school principal. And I can't tell you, and I think you even heard, how important it is to have your administrators behind you and involve the students in program planning and participation. They really are supposed to do the program and use the funds to address both healthy eating and physical activity. And that's the thing. We're trying to get kids to have greater access to healthier foods in the schools. We're also more access to doing physical activity. That neat thing where you get up every minute or a minute every so often and do something, you know, it causes oxygen to get to the brain, so you know you learn better. How does my school apply? Well, we sort of went through this, and Mary really did a good job of that. And basically, it's the same kinds of things you would go through and complete the wellness investigation, the application process, and there is some little tips I want to give you about the application process. Very important to make sure whenever you give the information down, you say exactly what the students are going to do. That's probably one of the most important things that we look for. The other thing is we do need some dairy in your nutrition education end of the activity listings. You also need to have people to help you in the schools, and that's just some little tips. Application form changes. Some of you are going to say yay, because they are shortening it. They're going to be used more closed-ended questions. There were a lot of written kinds of things and lots of duplication, so hopefully they're going to change that. They are stressing the importance of explaining the plans. You really have to really list everything you're going to do. You can't just say, well, we're going to do some healthy eating, maybe a little bit, but it has to be specific. And then each proposal section will include key questions that you can see here. What are the goals? How many students are going to be involved? Are they going to take an active part in actually doing this? Explain it, and how will it be tracked? Then the applications are due. There's going to be one due here in June. And we decided to have this particular meeting in the spring, which obviously is a very hard time to get people together, because we wanted you to have your funds at the beginning of school starts. Otherwise, as you can see, the next deadline is October 1st. And so, you know, football season is half over, and since this is an NFL and, you know, kind of program, you don't want to miss that. So if you can do your application and get ready by the June 15th date, you'll have everything ready for the beginning of school. You know, but otherwise, like Katie said, you can wait 3 months and start a little bit later. It works out fine too. The application worksheet, these are some of the, yes? I don't know how to do that. No, I do really. Right. They're instituting, we think, this year, and it's proposed, that if you put it in, we can expedite and do it before the next deadline. Now, we're still in the process of finding out about that, so we'll see. But you can put it in, and if you get it in, you know, after June 15th, and we can look at it, and we can hopefully get it done earlier and get your money to you earlier. And it is $4,000. That's one thing I forgot, and I think Mary already said that. The advisor information is important, principal signatures, school and teacher information, student involvement, nutrition with emphasis on dairy and physical activity plans, funds in action, and you want to track and measure. What are the specific budget items? Things that are not included are food that you are selling. Hard drive or hard computers or televisions, equipment for sanctioned sports. Those we will not cover. Things that are covered, no more than $500 spent on the kickoff, no more than $500 for giveaways, $1,500 for healthy eating plays, $1,500 for physical activity plays. And then you can have some monies for promotion materials for a speaker. You know, I think you could bring in a hip hop, you know, instructor or a taekwondo somebody or whatever. Make sure you go to the funding opportunities, eligibility, and guidelines on the website for clarification as to what and what cannot be covered. You can see here giveaways to encourage participation, stipends for professional involvement, food service materials, equipment, nutrition education materials, tracking, and some people have restyled their cafeteria. Some people are working on school breakfast. That's a biggie for us. We really think that's important. Some schools have created their own fitness center. I think some schools have just never had weights, and so they bought weights with the monies and are using that. And then family food and fitness nights. I think this is neat because it does cause more families to work together and really helps with the confidence of the kids. Applicants will receive notification of the funding within 21 days of their application deadline, and then hopefully within a week or two you will get your funds. And there is a final report that you do have to do. There are some things you have to do, and that's the wellness investigation, the application, and then the final report. And there is also a report that the school nutrition people have to do also. Here's a Field to Play 60 store. You heard about some of the things that they use their monies for, and you can go to the Field to Play 60 store and get these different items. And as we've talked about several of the different Field to Play 60 grants, dovetailed very nicely into other grant programs. And you do have a sheet of paper or 3 sheets of some of the main programs and how Field to Play can fit into that. And I do want you to know that the dairy farmers are committed to this, and we really, really appreciate you working with the wellness of your students. And so I think Jenny's going to come up here and conclude the whole program, and then we're having prizes. Jenny?